Welcome to Sinfully Good, where today we're doing a sinful Italian lasagna. This is what you'll need, and there is a printable recipe in the video description. There's a link to it. Start out with your onions and your ground beef and your sausage and stir those up. Add your garlic on into there. Stir them and get them brown, and then drain. We're going to add some olive oil to this and add our seasonings. We're going to bloom our seasonings. This is the Italian seasoning, a little bit of fennel, a little bit of oregano. Just stir them around in there for about a minute and then return the meat to the pot. Stir that seasonings all in there. Get them nice and coated. Now we're doing our diced tomatoes. You can also use the San Marzanos, but crush them with your hands. We're going to add 4 cans. Stir that in. And then add that tomato paste. There's 4 cans of that. Now, y'all, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me in the algorithms. And, guys, I really need the help. So, pass this around and make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. It's free and it's fast. We're using the big cans of tomatoes, we added water and we're stirring that up. Season with salt and pepper. Stir those in. And bring it to a boil, then reduce the heat to a low simmer. Put it on low, and you need to cook it for at least 4 to 6 hours. I prefer to cook it for about 12 to 18. Now we're using our whole milk ricotta. This is the next day, by the way, y'all. Putting it in a bowl, and we're gonna smooth that out, cream it a little bit here so it's easy to get the seasonings in. So start with a little salt, my Sinful Italian seasoning, about 2 tablespoons of the Sinful Italian seasoning, about a good teaspoon of salt. We have some fennel here. There's about a teaspoon of that in there. Some grated Parmesan, 2 tablespoons of that. That's pre-grated, so you can use it that time. We're going to pull out the fancy stuff later. And then the 3 cheese Italian blend, about 2 tablespoons of that. Stir all that in together. Make it so that you don't see any lines, that it's all evenly dispersed. Now add an egg. That's going to hold this together so you don't get a big old, when you put your fork through the lasagna, you don't get a big old sploosh of this ricotta. Now I took a spray. You need to take a spray and spray your pan. I used an olive oil spray, but if whatever cooking spray will work, make sure you spray it really well in the corners and edges. Now here's the fancy stuff, the Parmigiano Reggiano and the Asiago, and of course some oven-ready lasagna pasta. 2 boxes of that. Start out by putting some sauce in the bottom. This is just going to protect those noodles on the very bottom, so it needs to be a thin layer, just coating. Probably could have put a little bit more on mine here, just a little bit to cover it. Now lay that pasta in next to each other, touching each other, but don't overlap them. If you need to break one to get it to fit in your pan, do so, and then just fill any little holes you have with the little pieces of pasta. Now we're building the lasagna. We're going to start with another nice amount of meat sauce. Now I pulled out the offset spatula here. Makes things so much easier to get things evenly and spread out and just even across the top. So put a good amount of the sauce in here. Make it thick. I could have made mine thicker. I just didn't know how much sauce I had, and I was kind of being careful. But it could have been thicker. Top it with some mozzarella cheese, lots and lots of mozzarella cheese. This is where you're going to get that wonderful cheese pull that we all love with lasagna. Again, I probably could have put more. I was being stingy. And then just build it again. Now, you see me, I put it down there and I moved it to the other edge. The reason is that end, the far end on the last layer had that direction. So I'm trying to offset those. Again, same thing. Touching but not overlapping, and fill holes with broken pasta. This is our first layer of the ricotta. We're going to use half of the ricotta mixture that we made. Again, spread it around with your offset spatula or with your spoon or whatever you have that'll make it nice and even. Try to push it up into those corners and into the edges. Makes things a whole lot nicer. Now, I forgot. I got ahead of myself, and I should have put some mozzarella on top of this. I didn't, so make sure you put a big mound of mozzarella on top. Again, we're putting the pasta in. Same thing, touching, not overlapping. Another layer of meat sauce. Nice deep layer of mozzarella. Now, we're pulling out the fancy stuff now. This is the Asiago that I'm grating. I'm using a microplane. Grate that all across the top, making that nice fluffy layer, and do the same thing with the Parmigiano Reggiano. Again, the mozzarella gives us the pull. These give us that wonderful cheese flavor. See, made a nice fluffy layer. Then I finished that off with the 3 cheese Italian blend and put another layer of pasta down. Then the other half of the ricotta mixture, another layer of pasta. Same rules apply all along. Now this is the top, so I'm topping it with the Parmigiano Reggiano and the Asiago, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw some of that 3 cheese mixture. And then put some foil on it. Make sure that foil doesn't touch that cheese. You don't want the cheese sticking to the foil. We're going to bake this in a 400-degree oven for about an hour. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. I'm temping it here. We want it between 150 and 165. Got a little hot. Do a final layer of cheese, lots of mozzarella, again, cheese pull, and the Parmigiano Reggiano, Asiago, all of the cheeses. Came out of the oven, melted, and this is what it looks like totally done. This is your Italian lasagna. I'd like to thank you for joining me in my kitchen today for this wonderful lasagna recipe. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I need the help. And as always, I really hope you guys have a blessed day.